of clue for evidence. He is widely recognized as a court-commissioned forensic expert, a role where he is appointed by the judiciary to provide independent scientific analysis in complex legal matters. He holds a range of master degrees which includes Masters in Physics, Forensics, Science, Cybersecurity, Psychology, LLB and LLM. So he is also among the very few techno-legal experts currently practicing in India. In the past 17 years, he has investigated over 8,500 cases and he has contributed for several criminal convictions. So with that, we warmly welcome our fourth speaker. Please give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Is there HDMI, sir, for your... We are still in the morning. Good morning. Let's have a better morning, please. Good morning. Thank you. While this particular audience is more to do with the technology, and we have been listening to the various concepts of technology since morning. Though I joined, late after the first session, but I could also relate to how deep the technological discussions are happening right now. But my topic at this hour is slightly, different than what you have been witnessing since morning. Even though I'll be discussing more of technology, the understanding with my topic of discussion will be more of the use of technology for the crime investigations and the acceptability of such technology by the court of law for the purpose of necessary adjudications, because technology and the law are at two different extremes. There are technologically super possibilities are there as per the scientific community is concerned or technical community is concerned. We all keep on acknowledging different scientific technological possibilities every single day. But if that practice is not recognized by the court of law, when I come from the field of forensics, forensics is nothing without the application before the court of law. All this science, technology, if it is not recognized before the court of law, that is not serving the purpose of the forensics as a whole thing. That is what the ground reality, of the understanding of my topic here is. But in the last, we will also draw a inference. If the artificial intelligence is going to be helping the investigations, if yes, to what extent, if not, to what is the limitations is what we will be discussing as a whole topic is concerned. So before I move ahead, I want to just get everything at the same pace of understanding. Very first thing is that since I'll be discussing something about forensics, AI in forensic investigations, it's necessary for us to understand what is forensics is all about. So let me wait for the answers from the audience. What is forensics according to you? We have been seeing all the CBI, CID, forensic movies these days. Okay, so it has been widely exposed, okay, as to what the forensic, as a topic is. I mean, probably they have shown you what are the forensic capabilities are, but what is forensics? What do you have to say about the term forensics? It's a tool for crime investigation. Okay, any other answers?
Evidence.
What are the crime? Why the crime happened?
Why the crime happened? Evidences? Footsteps. Fine. All these things are collaboratively gives you some idea about the forensics, but in a very logical sense, yes.
The methodical process of collecting.
Methodological process of collecting, preserving, examination, reporting of the evidences. All right. To collectively, to give you a layman's understanding about the forensics is number 4 and number 6, forensics. All right. It gives a valuation of 10. In our mathematics, we have this logical reasonings. 1 is always given for the truth value and 0 is always given for the false value. The whole scope of forensics is to conduct such examination and to conclude if the given claim is true or given claim is false. Who brings the claim? It is the investigation officer, it is the court, it is the affected party, the decision making capacity, authority, whatever. They bring the claim and then we answer that is what the whole process of forensics is. But forensics is also called as an additional, suffix. It is a forensic science. Okay. So why do we mention this as a science? Is again, it's because the process what we have been involved with can be tested, can be measured, and can be done once again to get the same result. That is what the flavors of science is. If this is not that capability of what it can be tested, measured, and can be redone to get the same result, the court of law need not rely upon any such piece of evidence for the purpose of adjudication. If you think, according to me it is like this, according to you it might be something else, the court cannot rely upon such category of discussion or such topic of discussion by default. If you do, I do, it is the same procedure. If I get the same result, that is what the validity before the court is all about. That is why we have the forensic science as a terminology. But to understand, let me ask you the question. On the screen, you have the mathematical diagram. I want you to answer me if line AE or the line EC, which of these two is lengthier? Line AE and line EC, which of these two lines are lengthier? How many of you think it is yes, AE? Raise your hands. AE, thank you. How many of you think it's EC? Raise your hands. Okay, okay. How many of you think both are equal? Some of you, thank you. How many of you did not raise your hands for any of these three questions? Now raise your hands. Okay, fine. Before I answer this question, I want you all to focus on the black dot here. I want you to open your arm, use your index finger and focus on this black dot. Freeze your hand, close your left eye and focus it. Hold the hand the way it is. Now open your left eye and close your right eye. Are you still focusing on the black dot? Okay, you mean to say the black dot is moving? Is it a graphical image which I am presenting? No. The only understanding here at this R is that in the field of forensics, we strongly believe one particular statement which says our eyes can cheat us. Okay, our own eyes can cheat us to go beyond what is visible just to the naked eye and to draw the logical reasonings is the whole process of the forensics. And for answering the previous question, I would take the help of your friend. Please come and I'll use this. Use this, measure the lines please, AE and EC. No, you can use this side for faster understanding. Line AE. Now you demonstrate. Yes, one time, two time, 2.5 times almost. All right, the other one please, EC. It's much bigger. All right, thank you. So this probably convinced every one of us sitting here that what we see can't just be believed. It appears on a surface level the things are different, but it actually needs a scope of investigation is what we are trying to discuss at this point of time. The question before us for the next discussion is that can the artificial intelligence help for the investigation in the field of forensic science? And before I discuss further, there are two terminologies which I have to make you very clear. Forensics, investigations. Forensics is not investigation, investigation is not forensics. But investigation to do, forensic is a part of it. Forensic is one part of the investigation because investigation is more to do with every aspect of the crime, every such thing in the crime. But forensic is very specific and limited to the question or a category of evidence which needs to be analyzed and to be given a proper understanding of that particular sample. Just for example, there is a scene of crime. Okay, there is a liquid over here, some patch over here. Okay, if that was fresh, the first question, if that is red color, Okay, if you are the investigator, what is it you're going to ask? Is it a blood sample? Okay, the forensic examination will be conducted to give you confirmation, yes, it is blood. Then what is your next question? Is it a human blood or animal blood? Alright, then the confirmation is given, it's a human blood. Third, to whom the blood belongs to? In the blood we cannot identify a male or a female. Okay, a blood donor can be anyone. Okay, for a male or female, blood donor is identified only by the blood category. Fine. Now the question is that to whom the blood belongs to? Is it for the victim or a perpetrator, or who is the X person? All those things question start one by one. That is the investigation. But for forensics, it's specific to a specific given question. Now the question is that how the artificial intelligence can help the forensic science? Can it dominate the human intelligence? How many of you have seen the movie Artificial Intelligence, released in the year 2000? There's one beautiful movie. Okay, in that movie, it's all about creating the robots to help the society. And the hero and one small kid will be traveling in a bus. Bus falls to a stream, and the bus is just, drowning. And the robo will come to help. Robo, it is a last rescue. He has rescued everybody. Last rescue, there are two people. One is a child, one is a hero. And the robo comes and assesses the child. Survival chances is less than 10%. But it goes to the hero, survival chances is 30%. It saves the hero. And for that reason, the hero is very, very, regretting the whole movie. If it is a human intelligence, what would you have done? You would have saved the child first. Okay? And because it is an artificial intelligence, it saved the person who had better survival chances. So in this sense, artificial intelligence cannot replace a human intelligence at this point of time for the purpose of investigations. But for the purpose of forensics, let us try to understand how much it is going to help us out, because forensics is more of scientific and more of logical. But the investigation also has the emotional factor in it. At this minute, we don't have such bots or such platforms which can also understand the human emotions, which is said to be one of the most complicated stream of study. Okay, human intelligence or the human mind is said to be the highly complicated field of study. So for that reason, there is no artificial intelligence platform for the purpose of whole investigation as such. Now proceeding further, one of the very predominant area of artificial intelligence which can be used for the investigation is for gathering the intelligence. You have to understand, in the investigation, intelligence becomes one of the key factor. But that intelligence data may not be used as evidence. The intelligence is a different data, what we use it as evidence is a different data. So by default, all the law enforcement agencies across the globe today are using the facial recognition as one of the key tool, and this is definitely the contribution by the artificial intelligence. In the movies, we keep seeing the public cameras being accessed by the law enforcement agencies to identify which human being is located where. So this is a very well known or well seen in the movies right now. And in the field of digital forensics, the use of artificial intelligence is definitely a contributor, because when we do a data extraction in the digital forensics, obviously we have thousands and lakhs of files to investigate. And if the one cyber center is said to be the person or a place where a particular crime is committed, and the police goes and seizes the whole cyber cafe. Okay, in most of the time, it could be more than one system which has been used for committing a crime. So in that sense, more than one system would have been seized. A whole lot of data would have been come to the forensic desk. When we investigate, lakhs and lakhs of data will be recovered. And the challenge is that in the digital forensic investigation, the biggest challenge is the data. The amount of data what we are going to accumulate is far, far, far more than what data we are actually looking for evidence purpose. It will be one file which has used to commit the crime. But to identify that one file, we have to access and recover lakhs of files together. When we do this, the challenge is that how do we identify that particular file? Yes, today we have the approaches of using the keyword search, okay, search based on the hash value. Lot of things are there, but there are some situations where some tools does not help you out. Say for example, in a PDF document, you are searching for a word money. It could be a case of some anti-money laundering or whatever. You are searching for the PDF document which contains the money as a word. You use the Control F and you use the keyword search for searching everything, but this particular document does not show up for the reason the way in which the PDF has been converted may not be in a text format. I take a photograph, I convert that photograph as a PDF, and in the search it doesn't show up. Okay, so these are few challenges where we find it difficult in the digital investigation of the evidences. In such cases, even the artificial intelligence at this minute what we are trying to use has still been a limitation. But sorting a lot of data, how the data has to be segregated, relevant, irrelevant, just the way any of the tools is able to give it to us as a output, such tools are still helping the sorting of the data and presenting the way it has to be. To that extent, it is helping for the digital forensic investigations. And now, one of the important applications of the artificial intelligence in the field of intelligence gathering and to the investigation is the predictive analysis. We are using the especially the social media accounts to do the predictive analysis, especially the communal disturbing messages, the religious sentiment messages, okay, the posts which can actually bring in communal disharmony, from where it is existing, from where and all it has been circulated. So why is that it is being existing from that particular location only? So all these things, the AI is definitely helping us to identify the pattern on the digital world is the source, but it also boils down to the physical jurisdiction. At the physical jurisdiction, what is happening can easily be assessed with the help of such predictive analysis of the social media happenings, social media posts and social media activism of different accounts. Now, coming to the non-conventional approach of the medical field. Okay, probably I could see this as a technological revolution where with the help of artificial intelligence, we are now doing virtual autopsy. Autopsy is the first report to be conducted by the forensic doctor to ascertain the cause of the death. At any given situation, if there is a unnatural death, okay, UDR it is what is mentioned as unnatural death, it is a doctor, as a procedural aspect is concerned, who has to give his opinion as to what is the cause of the death. So that particular procedure, there are many situations where the doctors are not available in the hospitals. Okay, so in such cases, this is a technology where today we are using a virtual autopsy where the technology is implemented at different hospitals and a doctor being in the place of his choice can conduct the virtual autopsy. And this virtual autopsy, the artificial intelligence is the biggest contributor for that. Because even though it has some kind of mechanical and computer oriented aspect to adopt, it is both the hardware and the software which is definitely helping out, no doubt, but it is more of the artificial intelligence which is giving the approach very convenient to a doctor sitting in the place of his choice and to conduct the entire autopsy. The whole process of the autopsy with this technology is less than an hour. Okay, there is no a threat of being exposed to unhygienic environment. Okay, there is no a threat of doctors being stuck in the traffic jam or whatever. So still the artificial intelligence in this domain has been contributing factor at this hour for the purpose of investigations. Though the artificial intelligence is today used to commit the crimes, okay, the voice cloning, the deep fake videos, okay, remember there is a big, today the fraud is the biggest industry. Okay, when we discuss about cybersecurity as industry, fraud itself is one industry today. Okay, there are big organized rackets which are happening to commit the fraud. Such an extent where people who are in the entry level does not even understand that they are committing a fraud. Okay, they run as a BPO, but they don't even know they are committing a fraud, but that's a different discussion level. But the speech analysis, while the voice of a person is said to be a biometric identification. Okay, so you have seen in a lot of movies also, there's a voice command given, it actually assesses the voice command, then gives you the access. So out of several biometric parameters, voice is one such parameter. And to commit a crime using voice, that artificial intelligence has been used, but to also to detect such artificial voice samples, the artificial intelligence is also presently being used. Here we have two things to identify. One, when we have an audio sample to investigate, there are two things. One is to transcript the content. Okay. Next is to identify the common phrases of what they have uttered. Because in the field of forensic examination, usually we say examination is to be conducted likes with likes. When we say likes with likes, I have to use the same word, okay, which is being spoken in the disputed or unknown sample of the voice. So when we do this, I could have spoken for 5 minutes in the questioned voice, but I am speaking for hours together on the other side in a known sample or a controlled environment. The artificial intelligence is going to help me to specifically identify which are those words which are relevant for me to use it for the purpose of comparison. Otherwise, it takes a lot of time for a human being to carefully listen to every word. Okay, see, because if it is a 5 minutes of audio clipping, it takes not less than 20 minutes for any human being to listen, pause, transcribe, and then continue. You should also verify the content. So the whole time is not less than 4 times than what the sample size is. So in this sense, the artificial intelligence not only helps us in terms of transcripting the content, it also helps us to identify the relevant words for the purpose of comparison. To such an extent, there are also tools which are also going to help us in identifying if the voice being investigated belong to the same person or not. That is a comparative study. Okay, one with one. We also have an approach where we have a data set or a data bank, database. From that particular database, an unknown voice can be searched just the way we see in the movies. Okay, a person is speaking and the technical team is trying to search and we have a voice match. Okay, similarly, all these things is based on the artificial intelligence. Earlier, we had to record the voice and then to search for the database. Today, the approach is that we can do it live. Okay, the search of the database can also be driven through artificial intelligence to the live call itself. Because that's when we are discussing about the supercomputers. Within a fraction of seconds, it can perform a lot of duties, lot of such outputs can be derived. So with the help of such technology, with the help of this artificial intelligence as a platform or a interface, we can achieve a lot of such results in an investigation environment. The biggest need or biggest contributor for the purpose of investigation, especially for the crime scene investigation, nothing apart from the artificial intelligence can replace right now. Why? Because there are reported cases where the human intelligence or the human beings have badly disturbed or compromised the crime scenes, and beyond the logic, there were certain crime scenes which were prepared or which were presented before the court of law. And crime scene is definitely a challenging situation for anyone. I'll tell you why. Suppose you enter a room, there is a person lying over the floor. What is your immediate response to that?
Check if he is alive.
Check if he is alive. But if he is not alive, or if he is alive in whatever condition, what would be your next step? Call for a first aid or an ambulance because he is unconscious, and you try to remove him to get him to the hospital or whatever. But it's only when you take him to the hospital, the doctor declares him as dead. Did you tamper the crime scene right now? You did not know that was a crime scene when you attempted to help the person. but literally speaking, you tampered the crime scene. Logically, you have not tampered the crime scene. Alright, but in such situations, how do you reconstruct the whole crime scene? You cannot go back because you do not have any idea that you should be capturing it as a photograph or a videograph. You did not have any idea of this. It's later you realize this person is no more and he is dead. So in such situations, depending upon a lot of physical parameters in the scene, the artificial intelligence can give us what is a highly probable situation that this could have been found like this. You could say, no, I found him like this. And the artificial intelligence can give you input. This cannot be like that. This is based on a lot of algorithm and the physics. It could include physics and whatever you concept of physics you talk about. Probably the entire thing, this is going to be helping out with the crime scene reconstruction to such an extent. Today we are also using this crime scene reconstruction on the virtual reality as a concept. Okay, once the crime scene is scanned, it is made as a virtual reality platform, and the investigators sitting in the place of their choice can investigate the whole crime scene. So that is one of the very huge advantage what we have got because of the artificial intelligence is what we are trying to get the whole scene in a 3D scanning as well as in the VR mode for the purpose of investigation. And in the investigation, it is always said, more than one person investigates, it should be also another person to verify, validate that investigation. Otherwise, it could be a biased investigation also. But the artificial intelligence seems to be non-biased in terms of creating a crime scene based on the input which you are trying to give it. And what is the intelligence input which you should be giving it for this? Photographs. Based on the photographs, this can create the highly probable crime scene based on the prompting also. We will discuss about the prompting later on, but I am just telling you about the output of what artificial intelligence can give it to us. Apart from this, the artificial intelligence is also used for road accident investigation. Okay, recently we did this reconstruction, unfortunate week of the December last week, where there was a bus which was caught on fire near the place called Chitradurga, Hiriyur in Karnataka. There were around 15 people reported to be dead. They were burnt. In the morning, we saw the news that the bus and a truck collided, head-on collision. Okay, because of that, people. When we looked at the video, it was not a head-on collision. If it was a head-on collision, both the vehicles should have stopped facing each other. But it was not the same scenario. It was the bus which is just went ahead after the lorry hit the bus. So because of this, we reconstructed the whole crime scene or the whole accident to show how the bus was coming, how the lorry would have hit, and it was also on that side of the diesel tank which the lorry hit to the bus. Because the diesel tank was full with the fuel, extra physical pressure, the fuel explodes. So because of that, there was a massive fire is what we reported. So the artificial intelligence, no doubt, is coming in the different forms of softwares and analytics, but no doubt it is the convenient approach for the investigator to solve, to gather a lot of data for the required output. Apart from this, pathology and serology, and we also use this for a lot of data analytics. Probably you have been already using the artificial intelligence platforms for various data analytics. So I don't have to discuss much about data analytics at this point in time. How many of you are iPhone 14 and plus users? 14, 15. Okay, have you people realized you have a LiDAR sensor on your iPhone which can help you to reconstruct the scene in a 3D visualization, and similar technology has been used by different tools to construct in a 3D requirement. In one particular accident reconstruction is what I'm going to show you the video. So based on the input, Yes. Okay, so I think there is some. Okay. Apart from this, one of the other interesting factor in the scene of crime is the blood splatter analysis. Okay, the gunshot wounds, the murder weapons, which actually causes the blood to be spilled across the scene. The artificial intelligence can help you to understand the distance from which the blood would have been splattered on the surface, the height from which it has splattered. That gives an analysis as to what could be the height of the person, what is the weight, mass of the person, all this analysis in an unknown suspect. Okay, these things can be helpful for the purpose of understanding, and with only the help of the blood splatter. Okay, because the moment the liquid touches the surface, it will create a kind of splatter, and that splatter effect is different for different distances, different intensities. All right, based on that, we can assess what is the force, what is the distance. This, for a human being to do it, it might take a lot of time, but the artificial intelligence can give you a quick result or a quick elimination. This is not, at least that can only narrow down to one or two possible approaches which can be explored for saving a lot of time. And this is the thing which you're seeing as a projectile for the gunshots. Okay, so gunshot again, if the gun or the weapon has been fired with a close range, the kind of impact which can create from a long range, for the kind of impact which it can create, all these things depends upon the projectile also. What is the distance, what is the the angle, what is the load of the weapon, what kind of caliber was that, all these things can help you to be understood with the help of the artificial intelligence tools for the crime investigation. I'll do this activity after my session is done. I'll also engage you for doing this activity all by yourself. So all probably you require is just ChatGPT to do this. We'll do that. Okay. One of the interesting factor today is that people don't use their language to create an email, text, or a essay or anything to be submitted as in writing. They take the help of the ChatGPT. Give a topic, give a prompt, get the script and send it across. But if not this, people, when they send a random or an anonymous communication, these people can be identified. And with that content which has been posted as anonymous, same ChatGPT can help you to understand the normal versus the ChatGPT or the artificial intelligence based content. There are tools which can generate you if it is a artificial intelligence contributed content. If not this, the artificial intelligence can help you to understand the linguistic part of an individual. When we say linguistic part, because of the language what you use, because of the pattern of the content what you type, what you text, that can identify to whom it belongs to. We have done several cases for the Google bad reviews, okay, negative reviews. You go to Glassdoor, write something about the company, okay, and send a proton mail, okay, so much so it cannot be tracked back. So all these things, we take the help of the language as a parameter, which the artificial intelligence can help us out to profile the individual and to compare the known text with the unknown text to confirm if it is the same person who is behind this. This is definitely helping us with that. I'll skip the AI in cybersecurity because you probably know better than me in this particular topic. So I'll skip this. But one very significant factor of artificial intelligence just the last week was that the income tax unearthed a scam of 70,000 crores billing scam with the help of artificial intelligence. Okay, they started with Hyderabad based, they went on to West Bengal, and now the whole search is on. Present estimated scam is 70,000 crores in the tax evasion, which was identified with the help of artificial intelligence only, with the help of the data and the pattern of that data being deleted, that invoices being regenerated, that invoices which pertain to the cash transactions only being wiped off. All these things are the red flags. Because of the artificial intelligence, this has now come into the picture just the last week, February 19th. All right. And probably we are also using all the banks have now implemented the AML. The moment you do any kind of transaction on the credit card, you get a call. Okay, artificial intelligence is definitely helping for all this prevention and the red flags. You must also know there is one branch of State Bank of India which is dedicated for senior citizens branch. It's in Jayanagar. And if any of the senior citizen does not inform the banker that they are going out of country, when they go out of country, when they try to do some transaction, it doesn't work. Okay, because senior citizens, they have no reason to go outside Bangalore. It is the presumption. Okay, and if they go outside Bangalore, to prevent possible scam, possible frauds, the bank deactivates the international transactions for them. Okay, it is probably the bank manager who has to be taken a permission with before the senior citizens go out of the country. So in this anti-money laundering platform, the banks have definitely implemented a good system right now. In spite of that, still there are few flaws, there are few loads which is not really identified. In spite of all these AMLs, we still find cybercrimes every day, and cybercrime is definitely a parallel economy right now, which we only discussing about what has been reported, but at least 4 times than what is being reported is actual loss. Nobody even comes forward to state that I have lost that money. It's a matter of my reputation, it's a matter of my prestige, which actually doesn't allow me to come before, and for that reason, it's more than 4 times what has been reported that there is a loss is the actual loss. Fine, so deepfake. How many of you seen the Nirmala Sitharaman application for the investment? You have seen that? Yeah. Yeah. So Nirmala Sitharaman app. It's called Nirmala Sitharaman scam now. Okay, because people with that video have invested and they have been victims of cybercrime right now. Okay, so apart from that, you could have seen any such celebrities, any such famous people coming onto the video and saying something. All these things are the results of the deepfake, which is again the contribution of the artificial intelligence. Okay, so my video files is not being played here, but I think you would have already seen the deepfake videos, how it is another thing in the websites or the social media. So I can also skip.
Second youngest son. He suggested it came out of nowhere. What we subsequently learned. It may have come from the former president or his legal team acting in bad faith. This is a deepfake example of what is possible with powerful computer and editing. It took around 72 hours to create this example from scratch using extremely powerful GPU. It could
I think it's the only video I'm
more
going to play.
computing time, but 90% of people cannot tell the difference.
Alright, so this was just one quick example of what the deepfake can do, and this is what we are also experiencing on our everyday social media. So that is the output of AI, but there are tools which can identify the deepfakes. This is again the artificial intelligence based tools. The tool was created with the artificial intelligence, and the same tools on the artificial intelligence platform is what we have got for the purpose of investigating. It's the same principle. If the other person is fighting with the AK-47, we have to fight with the AK-47 only at least. I cannot go with the sword, okay, to fight the person with the AK-47. So anything contributed by AI requires a AI support at this hour for the purpose of fighting it back. Okay, at this hour, quick 3 examples or 3 practicals we will do it before I conclude. I want you all to use your mobile phone scanner, scan this. Okay, hold on. People who are with bad heart, please don't do that, because the photographs contain some blood splatter and a wound. Okay, let us try to do investigation based on the artificial intelligence right now. Some guys are very happy looking at 𝐅𝐨𝐫𝐞 𝐈𝐧𝐼. Did you able to see the files?
Yes.
Files, okay. Please download the files. Okay, files are safe for download. Okay. That's why I'm giving a very caution volunteer notice from my side. Files are safe for download. Not yet. Not yet. Now, we'll use a simple chat GPT, because chat GPT is again an AI tool to investigate these samples. What you will do is that you will load both 𝐅𝐨𝐫𝐞 𝐈𝐧𝐼's photograph and as chat GPT, if the facial characteristics of these two photographs indicate the person being same or different. The facial characteristics of these two pictures is of the same person or of different people. That is the prompt. If the facial characteristics of both the people in the picture is of the same person or of two different people. You can't?
It's saying I can't.
It says it cannot help. You change your prompt. Are these two of the same person? Or you can ask, describe the facial characteristics of both the pictures.
The face, the structure, what's the structure? Instead of chat GPT, our GPT is like that.
Natural.
And coming.
Before you take the help of chat GPT, if you are concluding both the same person, that means you are biased. You are not doing the investigation, you are biased before you start doing the investigation. Was it of any help to you? Did you get the results? Did the artificial intelligence tool give you the facial characteristic parameters? With this approach, can you now compare the characteristics of both picture 1 and picture 2 to conclude if it is the same person or different people? It saves a lot of time. Otherwise, this particular thing, being one case registered in the police station to be examined by a forensic laboratory, would take not less than a week time, because the parameters will be assessed manually. The size of the photo, I mean, when we do the photometric analysis, the first thing I showed you, how the facial identifications are done, right? The distance between the nose and the ears, distance between nose and the lip, okay? The whole pattern is something which we're trying to examine manually. That manual time is just nothing but at least 10 times more than what we have got it right now. That is the first understanding. Next, you have got the blood splatter photograph. Blood splatter in the downloads which you have got it right now. Ask ChatGPT to do a blood splatter analysis for that. That you can use any of this, any of that. Use one, use any one, because both the patterns are different. Use one photograph and ask the ChatGPT to do blood splatter analysis and to give you the distance from the crime scene to the splatter. Try to get some additional inputs for that. You got some inputs about it? Blood splatter analysis? It's generating. It is analyzing every bit and bit of the blood splatter over there. No doubt it is going to give you some kind of result. Okay. Okay. While this is taking time, in the interest of time, we'll skip that. You can still go and do it at your convenient time. You can see the next photograph, that is the gunshot wound. In the gunshot, there is always a challenge between the entry wound and the exit wound, from which direction the bullet came from and in which direction it went away. Okay, was the shooter in front or in the back? Okay, so these things becomes a challenge for the investigation. See, experts can definitely assess if this is an entry wound or an exit wound, or if it is a short distance, long range or short range fire. In the examination it can be done, but on the spot, if the investigation officer can get some help on this, the kind of investigation which they can conduct will be much more faster, much more accurate. Now look at the, analyze this wound and confirm if it is an entry wound or an exit wound. Okay. Also assess the nature of the bullet and range of fire, from which has been given. And as a conclusion, if you look at it's an entry wound, okay, and bullet nature most likely small or medium caliber, range of fire intermediate to distance range. But in spite of all these things, it has given me one caution notice. What is the notice? Where is that notice? It is not visible here. It says here. You are not looking only this. Okay? You have to read what is not visible to you. The last one is very important. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Okay? With the help of this information, which is logically correct, but to rely upon this, the human being has to cross-verify if this data is accurate or not. Okay? It helps with a lot of such calculations, a lot of things can be minimized as the human time is concerned, but it is not always reliable to depend upon this data alone. In the investigation we say, things are not seen unless it is looked for. If you look forward, you get it. And that's what the ChatGPT also says. If you look, you'll understand how to rely upon the ChatGPT or any other tools like this. So this is what we had to discuss at this hour. As a part of my conclusion, I would say the artificial intelligence no doubt is an emerging trend in the domain of investigations or in the field of forensics. But what is critical is that at this minute, at this hour, no artificial intelligence has been so reliable which can replace the human intelligence at this hour. It's just a diagnostic tool which conveniently reduces the human being time, but in terms of reliability and the code acceptance, this is far behind. It takes probably another 2-3 generations to rely upon such artificial intelligence for the purpose of investigation. This is my conclusion on this, for this topic. And any questions, we can take it up for the next few minutes. Yes, please go ahead. We are on time.
Hello sir, Rajesh here. I actually have 3 questions. I've noted them down. The third question you have briefly covered already. So my first one is that I just wanted to know if there was one such case for which which was very much challenging and you used the technology to kind of identify the 10, which is true or false. That's my first question. And my second question is that you collect a lot of samples, right? As you just presented showed us the demo and all. So you collect a lot of samples, and how do you make sure that this data is secure against the technology that you are using? Because there could be a possibility of compromises and attacks and a lot of stuff. And how do you make sure that this sensitive data is secure against the technology that you are using? And my third question, which you just briefly covered, so how are you making sure that the output that is being generated out of these artificial intelligence is accurate? As we just saw that, every well-known artificial intelligence solutions, they make a clause saying that it can make mistakes, so you will have to be,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take the first question first. One of the famous cases which I have used artificial intelligence to solve, right? That was the first question? Yes.
Challenging one.
See, with the help of artificial intelligence, the challenging one which we have involved, maximum at this minute is the accident reconstruction cases, okay, and the crime scene reconstruction cases. However, I am not the one who actually visits the crime scene because the police has their team to do that. I come into picture as a defense counsel as to why you have not done this like this. Okay, so that is my role at this hour. So I also advise, I am also faculty for the police on the crime scene investigation as an academic level. And police have got their team, they will do that. That is the first thing. Accident reconstruction, we have done plenty of cases which includes the recent unfortunate death of IAS officer Mr. Mahantesh. He was driving the vehicle and he died in the accident. Even that particular case, we happen to submit a forensic accident reconstruction report as to ascertaining what is the cause, what is the minimum speed of the vehicle at the time of impact. Based on definitely the impact analysis, the road conditions, and the direction of the road, whatever the distance he was, direction he was traveling from, all these things, if not the artificial intelligence, becomes a parameter of the physics. Using the physics in combination with the artificial intelligence, that made us job to submit the report in 4 or 5 working days. Otherwise, only to go by the conventional practice, it would have taken 20 to 25 days as a normal turnaround time. That is one such success story with the help of artificial intelligence. Second, the data, how do we process the confidential data for the purpose of this? It's only because of this reason that no forensic entities are able to upload their ongoing live cases to these platforms, is where we don't have any reliable AI model for the purpose of investigation. As a practice, we don't upload any of our existing actual case data to the artificial intelligence platform because probably you also understand, I also understand, it is open source. And we are contributing the data over there, which we cannot do it. But where we can take the help is that, suppose we have 3 hours of audio clipping, which is to be transcribed. So we cannot even upload that audio clipping. One of my team member will wear a headset and keep listening and keep repeating that. What he listens is what he repeats. So that gets transcripted. So we know at what length of the clipping, what is the word spoken in the actual clipping. That is used only for the limited purpose. But actually, as a platform, we have not uploaded any of the actual samples for the purpose of examination. Did I answer?
Yeah, I did. And the last question.
Last question was?
Yeah, about accuracy.
Accuracy.
Since you do not upload, so.
Yes, since we don't have a strong data set, okay, which is inputted, the output of the AI is also limited, and probably we have not used any of the AI generated results or suggestion in any of our actual reports. That has to be re-verified, and see, when this gives so much, that minimizes my 30 to 40% of my time. That doesn't replace the whole thing. That's only a convenient approach, but not a reliable approach for the purpose of forensics and reporting.
Thank you so much.
So you have a question over there. Yeah, I'll come to you after this. Please go ahead.
Sir, for the use of AI, you had mentioned that it is primarily used to reduce the data set itself. So instead of having a big data set, you reduce it to maybe 10 or 20 and then you go forward with that. How do you make sure that the data set that is reduced it to is accurate? Because then how do you know that what it has eliminated, there isn't some crucial evidence or some crucial thing it has missed, because AI can make mistakes as we just saw.
Correct.
So
See,
how do you make
what interface you just saw, it is purely based on my input of the prompt. Okay, for me to input, first of all, I had to be an expert to input specific keywords for the desired output. If I fail in asking the relevant question, whatever the results is going to give it to me will be of no reliance at all. But in the investigation, there are two kinds of achievements. One, to eliminate the innocent people, that is the first achievement. Second achievement is to identify the wrongdoer. Even if some cases you don't identify the wrongdoer, you are still successful because you eliminate, this is not the person who committed this crime. Even then, it is still logic, but it is not correct, it's not legally correct. Okay, but it is socially correct because you are trying to identify this is not the person. But in such sense, whatever the input we are trying to give and we are taking the desired output, it is the language what we use, only that narrates us who can be further suspected or who can be eliminated. And whatever people who has been suspected right now, it doesn't mean they can be eliminated tomorrow. That is only helping us who is the first set, who is the second priority. That has to be completed in a conventional practice only.
So it doesn't exactly eliminate, just arranges them according to the likelihoodness.
Correct. With the approach which I told you right now, that only helps the investigator who should be first investigated. Who can be the next priority based on the situation, based on the evidences available, based on my approach of investigation is what I have tried to take the approach of the AI. I am not eliminating, I am taking them as a second priority.
Got it, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I'll come to you because the mic has been going. I'll just come to you, one moment.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
Myself, Phaneendar. So, as an AI forensic investigator, how would you tackle the Indian privacy laws? Because of you are taking a huge data and it's taking for training purpose, AI taking huge data and it's not a personal data. So it's personal data, but it's sensitive. So we are using mass of sensitive data. Once it's compromised, whatever he told, right? Once it's compromised, biometric data, we are unable to change it. It's a permanent
digital footprint.
Yeah, it's a permanent identity theft or misusing and secondary purpose. So, if in future, if you are a forensic investigator, how would you tackle with privacy laws, Indian privacy according to that?
Okay, so privacy law is more of universal in nature. Okay, India, they have a Indian law which is made, but which is also very similar to the global privacy laws we are trying to use. Privacy is definitely a global concept, no doubt, but human rights versus the police investigation, two different extremes. Okay, there are situations where if the police does not resort to the third degree, that person will never speak up. But if he doesn't speak up, you cannot do with the investigation. Just like that, the privacy and this one is of that extremes. You are definitely accessing some amount of private data, no doubt. But for what purpose are you accessing it? Are you using it for your personal use? Are you using it for committing a damage to some other person? So the right to privacy with reasonable restrictions is what we fail to read always. Right to privacy is a fundamental right. All the fundamental rights are with reasonable restrictions. But in the interest of the investigation, it allows for you to access some private data, but the question is to produce it, to reproduce or to present it. That may have to be gone with the compliances of that particular nature of the case. And in some cases, the data is given in a sealed condition to the court, which will never get released to the public. So such is the approach which we can take it for the purpose of the court requirement, because when we discuss about forensics, it's not between you and me. It's between us as a whole community versus a society. So in the interest of society, to secure the society and to give a very convenient livelihood, there are few data which is relevant to be disclosed to the adjudicating authority. So where the privacy laws definitely should not be a hindrance, it is the court which decides in that particular case, is that data public data, private data, can it be reproduced, should it be kept in a sealed condition or not? All those things the court will decide, including, I'll give one more scenario. One of the case, the income tax officers raided on a IAS officer for a money laundering case. In that laptop which they seized, they had child pornography content. Matlab, they found child pornography content. The law says whatever is your relevant data is only something which you can access it. For income tax, what is relevant data? Money trail, that's it. Okay, you cannot touch upon that child pornography just the way you can do it in other cases. But it had to be shared with some other agency right now. And there is also, you can share the information but not the data. And you have to share the information, they have to register a complaint, then in the procedure of law they have to come seek the custody of this device, then to extract, then to a lot of procedures involved. So laws are there. So for the specific question which you asked me, privacy definitely is a compliance today. For the purpose of investigation, it is definitely not a hindrance, but for presenting it, it has to be followed as a law of the rules which has been framed appropriately in the given case of given time of reporting.
Thank you. Sir, in future, maybe if you are producing in code, you will produce only the output of the result, or you need to produce of how, because it's a black box, right? So even you need to produce the algorithm of how we are trained the data, everything you need to produce.
Correct.
Because, yeah,
Correct.
because we are unable to know, right?
Correct.
How we train the data. So what is it?
We had to produce the mechanism, the procedure, the tool which we have used to extract the data as a procedure concern. See, it is very similar to how we write a practical record book. Okay, in the practical record book, how do we start? Aim of the experiment. There is a need for examination. Then we also use apparatus used. Okay, all the tools what we have used. And then principles. Okay, we use all the principles. Then the procedure. After this, after this, after this. Then the observation. Then the result. Same content will go to the forensic reporting, and we have to report the procedures, algorithms, the step-by-step approach what we have taken, tools what we have used, and because of using this tool we have got this result, so that if the court wants to test and verify your result, they can use the same tool, same sample to get the same output. That's why I said it is a science. Alright? Yes.
One more question, last question.
You can ask the question and we can take one more question. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so sir, you have told about integrating AI with autopsy. So in autopsy, as we know, it's the first report for any investigation which is going to be going on. If there are autopsy, there are types which is physically visible to where a wound is causing and the time of death. But some cases are where they're internally injured and internally they have death causes like poisoning or any inside bleeding. So how according to you, how accurate it is to, how feasible it is to integrate AI to this autopsy science?
Yes, you are very close to your understanding about autopsy, but there is a small difference there. Autopsy will identify the physical damage to the person and the most probable physical cause of the death. Is it a strangulation? Is it the bones being broken or something like that? But the poison, which is an internal matter, cannot be ascertained by the autopsy. Further, what they do, they preserve the viscera sample, the intestines, they preserve it and they send it to a toxicology lab. The toxicology lab is a separate section altogether, which is not in the autopsy purview. That experts will ascertain what was the food which is available, what was the time of the consumption, what was the time of the death. They ascertain that. Poison comes to toxicology. All right? Thank you. Yes, last question. Yes.
So are there any challenges faced while training these models for forensic investigation? And what if a new crime scene appears? Does that model automatically able to identify, or so how it happens?
See, to train the model, it's a very big challenge right now, because one thing is that who is the one who goes to the crime scene? It is the government or the state police. And is the government open for creating a model like this? Which is a very big question, which is no at this point in time. In the academic interest, we keep on discussing about, we keep creating a crime scene for a mock, and we can discuss all those things. But in the realistic sense, I don't think we have any such attempts, or probably for next 5 to 6 years at least, I don't see any such things even coming to the discussion, because only for some betterment of some developments, recent laws has been changed, and even to be adopting to the new laws, it requires 5 years. So after this is what we can discuss on this particular thing. By then, that will be the leading trend, and now it is emerging trend. Okay, next 3 to 5 years, it will be in a very peak of its performance. Probably by then we can actually be able to discuss that question actually. So with this, I thank you all for your openness and all the questions. So you have been a very wonderful audience this afternoon. I thank Michael for having me here, and all the organizers of this particular initiative. I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I hope what a wonderful session it is. So engaging, right? So I hope you have learned a lot of things. Just